Oh, poop, 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 poop. Poop, 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 poop. Poop, 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 poop,
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Constant Companion podcast. I'm Dallas. I have Brayton here, and we also have Matt Farley from Modern Media. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Awesome. Thanks for being on. For those who don't know, Matt is one of the great artists and songwriters of our time. Would you say so, Matt?
I think I'm the greatest songwriter of the 21st century.
So just from looking at your website, it says that you've written over 18,000 songs. Is that right?
That's correct.
Oh my gosh.
Matt, I just got to ask, how do you find time to write so many songs?
Well, I work fast, for one thing. You know, I'll admit some of the songs aren't masterpieces. It's just me banging a few chords on the piano and making up lyrics as I go. But there's plenty of good ones, too. And the trick is just to keep doing it and to be disciplined because, frankly, most people watch TV like 6 or 7 hours a day. So if you cut that down to 2 hours a day, boom, you've bought yourself 4 or 5 recording hours.
Oh, man. So how long does it take you to write and record a song?
Anywhere from 5 minutes to a few hours, just depending on how involved the song is.
Gotcha. Wow. And so you started back in 2008, right? With writing about every topic imaginable.
Yeah. Prior to that, I was in a more traditional band that nobody really listened to except for the occasional weird song that we would write. So the band kind of dissolved, and I decided to just write weird songs.
Good. I think that's something that we all love is weird songs. You know, we're stuck with the typical love songs and, you know, the pop, electric, dance songs, but I think we all enjoy a little bit of weirdness sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want Brayden to describe how we found out about Modern Media and most importantly about one of your bands, the Toliet Bowl Cleaners.
All right, so we were actually just hanging out with a few different friends, and we were listening to some music, but basically what happened was we were getting tired of what we were listening to, and we wanted to find something new. And so we just got random words, you know, that we were thinking of that we could look up on Spotify to find new songs. And the first word that came to my mind, of course, was poop. So we typed in poop on Spotify. And, of course, your band was the first one to come up, specifically the poop song, which, by the way, I think is very clever.
Literally, the only words in this song is poo.
I know, it's amazing. I mean, that song took, 10 minutes from the moment I started writing it to the moment it was finished being recorded, and it's by far my biggest hit. So, you never know what's going to catch on, but I did. I mean, the way you found me is pretty much my exact evil plan. My evil plan was people will get bored on Spotify and iTunes, and they'll start typing in random words, and I bet you poop is one of those words, so I'm going to form a poop band. And Now that band, the Toilet Bowl Cleaners, I think has 11 or 12 Poop albums.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it does. And we were amazed to see how many songs. I mean, and they're all so different and unique, honestly, a lot of them. So it really is fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but just to mix things up, I had the Toilet Bowl Cleaners do a love songs album called Mature Love Songs, and no poop whatsoever. It's just regular love songs. And I did that just so if people were ever looking through all the albums, they'd be like, all right, there's like songs about farts and poops. There's You Thought We Ran Out of Poop Song Ideas, You Were Wrong. And then suddenly, mature love songs. What the heck is this? You know, just to confuse people.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a great technique right there. Gosh, so what really started you on your musical journey? What made you want to just be a musician and a songwriter?
Since I was real young, I was just into being creative, writing books, making movies, and making music. So it just was something that I was into from day one. And basically, it's just been a matter of, living my life in such a way that I can eliminate a lot of distractions and have time to do what I like to do.
So, Matt, I have a question. I really like to write music. I'm going to say I'm not as clever as you are with my lyrics, but do you have any advice, not just for me, but for anyone that's like aspiring to write music or do the creative things that you have done?
Yeah. Don't think about it. Just do it. If you're working on a song and you don't think your lyrics are clever, a lot of times people get frustrated and they just quit. But when I don't think my lyrics are any good, I just keep writing them. And I finish the song, and then I move on to the next song, and I find sometimes you have to get through the bad song before you get to the good song that's within you. So it's kind of like it's this pipeline, you know, within this creative pipeline that's just flowing out of you, and if you clog it up by quitting in the middle of a song, then it kills your creativity. So just keep on doing it, and you never know, because you might think that your lyrics are not clever, but then someone's going to be like, hey, I really like that song you wrote, and you're thinking, wow, that song stinks, but sometimes we are not good judges of our own work.
I really like that, thanks.
No problem.
Awesome. So why poop, though? Why poop for a focus of 12 of your albums?
And actually, there's even more, because some of my competing I have a competing artist called the Odd Man who sings about poop, puke, and pee, and that's also me. But he is like the prime enemy of the Toilet Bowl Cleaners. He's trying to steal their money. Why poop? Just because, I don't know. You know, growing up, my brother and I would sing the word poop over and over again, and it's just kind of like the first joke for people. The most basic human joke is a fart joke, and so I just had a inclination in my head. I just thought, I betcha kids are searching the word poop online, and I went with it. To a really ridiculous extreme, of course.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, anytime I hear someone say doo-doo or duty, I tend to smile and laugh a little bit, so.
Yeah, you're not human if you don't appreciate a poop joke, so, I just love making music, and frankly, like, I don't care what it's about, and I think some of the melodies and chord progressions I've done for poop songs are really good, and I don't think people even notice it sometimes. They just think, oh, it's a poop song, but I want to be like, but listen to that bass line. That's killer.
There's music behind the lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you mentioned that you have other aliases. How many total other aliases or bands do you have?
70.
70. And are these all just different personalities of you, or what inspired them?
First off, it was probably a bad idea because it makes it a lot harder for people to find my work. But it appeals to my sense of humor, and it kind of gives people a chance to go on like a treasure hunt. You know, they have to do exert a little effort to find my stuff, and then when they find it, they feel like they've accomplished something. But it was really mostly just a way of organizing the music because there's so much of it. So each band is devoted to, more or less a certain topic. So there's the Hungry Food Band, has all songs about food. There's the Singing Animal Lover, who does songs about animals, etc., etc. The guy who sings songs about cities and towns, he sings songs about cities and towns.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. And so modern media, though, is just like your central focus point, and then it kind of spreads out into these different bands? Like, is that how it works? Or
Yeah, it's like the record company. It's called Motern Media. And,
Motern.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I made it up, so there's really no wrong way of pronouncing it. But, I like to imagine that Matt Farley is this, like, evil record company exec who's always, like, forcing the artist to work harder and harder. So, like, there's even some rebellion within the ranks. Like, the Singing Animal Lover got upset once and did a whole album in which he got mad at Matt Farley. And so it's an entire album where I, pretending to be the Singing Animal Lover, am singing about how much of a jerk Matt Farley is.
So is your name even Matt Farley, or?
My name is Matt Farley, yeah.
Okay, absolutely. It is. Yeah, so but it's not just your own creation.
Right, no, I'm Matt Farley. I've just created this ridiculous universe, and it's totally, nobody notices. I just do it for my own entertainment. But it's an album called It's Time for People to Know the Truth, in which the Singing Animal Lover is upset because he wanted to record animal poop songs, but it ended up going to the odd man who sings about poop, puke, and pee.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
But this is too deep, and I apologize, but 6 months later, Matt Farley relented, and the Singing Animal Lover was allowed to release animal poop songs as well. So there are 2 albums called Animal Poop Songs, all the same animals, but different music for every song. It's completely insane. 90-something animal poop songs on 2 almost identical albums.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
This is fantastic. This is like the soap opera of the music world. It's just, you never know what to expect. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Matt, is your music like, is that your 24/7 sort of job, or do you do something else on the side? Like, what is it that you do? I suppose, what is it that you do when you're not writing music?
Yeah. Well, until recently, I had a day job. Since the year 2000, I graduated college at Providence College in 2000, and that's in Rhode Island. And then I worked at a group home in Manchester, New Hampshire, a group home for teenagers, like abuse and neglect cases. I worked there until just a month ago, actually. And the good thing about that was the job, I could work, I worked 3 days a week, and I got all 40 hours done in 3 days, which gave me the rest of the week to make music. But now I'm full-time music. I've been doing a lot of, I got all these songs on Spotify and iTunes that are bringing in money, and I do custom songs for people. For $44, I'll do like a brand new original, like happy birthday song or whatever topic people want, and then I've been doing some like advertising music on top of that. So all that together is an income, and I got a wife and 2 kids, so it's pretty busy.
Wow. So how does your family feel about your music? Do they appreciate it as much as you do?
Yeah. I mean, if I wasn't bringing in money, I'm sure it would be different. It would be like, all right, enough already. But but it's my job. So and that's the key. If it's purely just a self-indulgent project in the basement, that's crazy. And and I need to enough already. You can still dabble in music, but to do it as much as I do, it better be earning me some money. But I try not to play too many of my songs for my family, just to not drive them totally crazy, because you can only take so much.
Yeah. That's understandable. So what has been your most successful band then, out of all your 70-something bands?
No question, it's the Toliet Bowl Cleaners. The Poop song is up over like 370,000 streams on Spotify, which is just amazing.
Wow.
They're like some of my favorite artists have songs that don't have anywhere close that many streams, and I'm like, oh, I feel bad. Like, I sing Poop for a minute and a half, and I'm doing better than you. So the Toliet Bowl Cleaners are number one. Then the next is the Passionate and Objective Joker Fan, where I sing songs about singers, and that does pretty well, because people will search their favorite singer, and they'll find, like, at the bottom of the list is a song about the singer, and then they listen to it.
Wow. Man, you got just all different kinds of ways to advertise your music, through celebrities, through fart, through poops. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, I was just trying to look for things that aren't usually in song titles, but people might look up. That was my my theory. And 10 years later, I was finally able to quit my day job. Most people would have given up, 6 weeks into it.
Mm-hmm. No, you're still going on. Okay, So we want, because you're pretty much an expert in poop and bathroom situations, we have a section we do on our podcast called Yahoo Answers. Basically, we go online, find people that are really searching in their souls for answers to some of life's deepest questions. And so we found a couple that really need your guidance to help them with different problems that they're having. And so if it's all right with you, we'll read off the first one.
Let's do it.
Okay. So this person, his name's David, and he asks, why does poop sometimes float and other times sink? Sometimes it even disappears before you flush. What's up or down with that? All right, what's your opinion, Matt?
That's a tough. I mean, I don't know scientifically why, but I mean it's got to be it's got to be just how airy the poop is. How much air is in there versus it being more dense and just solid poop. But that's based on my limited science education.
Okay. So how do you get air in poop then? Do you breathe? Is this how much you breathe in and it goes into your intestines, or what do you think?
I think it's more about what you've been eating. Maybe if you're eating like a lot of high fiber stuff, then the poop is kind of fluffy. But if you're not getting enough fiber, then the poop is much more condensed and less likely to float.
Okay.
And Matt, do you think you could write a song about disappearing poop?
Yeah, and maybe I already have. I'm not even sure. I can't keep track of them all, but it sounds I have a no wiper song. I might have a no flusher song too. I'm not sure.
Okay, because I think I've heard the no wiper. I'm not sure if I've heard a no flusher. So.
Yeah, probably not, but I should. It's amazing. All these albums, I'm still coming up with topics.
It's a beautiful world. All right, our next question. Why is poop green sometimes?
Why is poop green sometimes?
Yeah.
I mean, I know what makes... as far as, in my life at least, certain foods, especially like dairy stuff, if I eat a lot of ice cream, I might be getting green poop. So the reason why is because of whatever you ate is causing the poop to be green. I don't know if it's the same with each person, but it all comes down to what you ate, and as long as it's not happening all the time, I don't think it's a medical concern.
Okay.
Thank you for your insight there. I feel like whenever I have green poop, it's because of grape or orange soda. Like right after I drink grape or orange soda, it's green poop coming out. Almost 100% of the time.
Yeah, maybe we all our bodies have different foods that kind of set off the green poop feature, but it's something to enjoy. It's brown can get boring after a while.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. Hey, that's a song title right there. Brown can get boring.
Now you're thinking like a songwriter.
All right, you want to read this one, Brayton?
Yeah, so this next one we have, let's see. The question is, it's basically someone talking about their cousin's disgusting bathroom problem. They say, as gross as it is, it's not a joke. They need help. They have a cousin, a female cousin specifically, with a disgusting bathroom habit. She's almost 40 years old, and she won't sit on anyone's toilet but her own. Her entire immediate family is like this, and she often comes to her cousin's house for movies, dinner, etc. When she goes to the bathroom, she squats over the toilet to do her business, and when her cousin goes to the bathroom behind her, it's very messy, and she's very insulted, and she thinks she's going to get some sort of disease from the toilet, and is just appalled by her spraying like some kind of animal. She said that this past weekend, she almost confronted her in front of guests to teach her a lesson, but then decided to talk to her in private. So her actual question is this: should she ban her from coming over, or should she ban her from using the toilet in her home? What do you think?
No, I mean, come on. Look, clearly, the cousin has has a hang up when it comes to the toilet, and what's the big deal? It's just pee, and all you have to do is wipe it. Grab a paper towel and just wipe it away if some of it's on the toilet seat. No big deal. It's just pee, and let her have her issue. I mean, we don't have to make a big deal about it. I'm sure she knows that it's not normal, but she can't. She's got problems. Let's work with her.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you just came up with another song title, "Wipe It Away." Man, you are just on a roll today. I think you start making some songs with us.
I have a good one called "Wipe Until It's White." That's a good one. It's a good lesson.
Wipe until it's white.
Oh gosh, we're janitors for a living. Like we're at our college here in Utah, and oftentimes people leave a lot of messes on the toilet. So that's good advice for us and for them as well, to wipe until it's white. I agree.
Amen.
All right, we got one more question. This person said, "I asked a few people this when going number 2 in a public place before. Are you discreet, or do you get in and blow it up and get out?" And she says, "I'm a get in and out person, which I learned is rare. People told me that they do things like wait until doors shut, toilets flush, waters run to let out gas. What do you do?"
Yeah, I'm very modest and easily embarrassed. Even though I sing about poop, I'm gonna be as quiet as possible. And wait for people to leave, all that stuff. I can understand wanting to get out of a public bathroom for various reasons, but unless I feel I'm in an unsafe situation, I'm going to go as quietly, as gently as possible.
What would you do, Brayton?
Honestly, I'm kind of the same. I get embarrassed for some reason. Even though, like you said, there's other times when I can talk about poo and vomit and pee like very freely, but for some reason when it comes to going to those public bathrooms, I like to be polite to those around me.
Yeah, I'm the same way too. Like even if someone's letting them go right next to me and I can hear it, I'll try to time my let outs with theirs, but I won't do it if nobody else is doing it next to me. So
I will say, if there's someone next to me that is just blowing up the toilet, I have no fear. I will just go for it. So,
yeah, sometimes you even try to match them. Yeah. Okay. So we want to move into another section called story time. And so what we like to do towards the end of our podcast is we like to share a story about the topic we were talking about today. So we want to start with you, Matt. Do you have any stories that you want to share about? It could be related to poop, it could be related to music, whatever you want. Something funny that happened to you. Do you have anything you want to share with us?
So anything related to, yeah, I got a good one.
Okay.
So, as I mentioned, I have part of my income as a musician is that people will pay me to write a song about any number of topics, and I get 5 or 10 a week from just random people email me saying, "Can you do a song about my dog?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'll do a song about your dog," and they give me information about the dog, and I sing it. So I got an email to do a song for it was a company that was holding like a big annual meeting, and they wanted a song to introduce the meeting. And I said, "Sure, send me all the information, and I'll do a song. And click on this link right here, please, to pay for it. You'll see a PayPal button when you click on this link." And what I didn't realize was that I mistakenly put the wrong link in there, and I put a link to one of my own songs entitled "It's a Lot of Fun to Wipe Your Bum." So I got an email back from the guy a little while later saying, "Hi, that was a very good song, but I didn't notice the PayPal link." And then I looked and I saw what I had done, and I was just like, I was mortified, and but also cracking up. Like, it's so I can only imagine what the guy was thinking. Did he sit through the whole song? So that was just a wild recent event that I was simultaneously humiliated and hysterical over.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Always check your links, when you cut and paste.
Absolutely.
You gotta double check.
Might send your mom something that you don't want her to see.
Heck yeah.
All right, Brayton, do you have a story you want to share?
Well, let's see. A specific story about what we've been talking about today. I'm just gonna embarrass myself. I have a good story from when I was in first grade. And maybe someday I'll write a song about this too, but I think, how old are you in first grade? Like
six,
7 years old? Okay, so I wasn't very old, but we were getting ready to run the quarter mile at school, so everyone, was practicing and getting really excited, and of course me, I was a very, very jumpy, very wild 6-year-old. I was very excited for this, so excited that I had forgotten to use the bathroom to go poop before the run. I was just so excited, it was one of those things I was like, well, I'll just do it afterwards. But we got to the race, and I was running so fast. I was going crazy, and I realized that I needed to fart because, I was just building up a lot of pressure in there. And next thing I know, instead of, farting, I pooped. And I pooped my pants right there, right in front of all my classmates. And I remember just running over to my teacher. And, at this point, I'm just crying. And I look at her, and I go, I think it was, Miss Zobeline was her name, Miss Zobeline. I go, "Miss Zobeline." She's like, "What's wrong?" And then, of course, I see her face, and she realizes what's wrong. She can smell what's wrong. And I look at her with teary eyes, and I say, "I pooped my pants. Probably in one of the saddest 6-year-old voices you could probably think of. And she just sent me to the office. She just sent me to the office. So I waddle on over to the office, and I get to the office, and they're like, well, what's going on? And then, of course, you see it in their face. They smell it, too. They know exactly what's going on. And they just send me to the bathroom. So there I am, stuck in the bathroom for I don't know, for forever, until finally someone knocks on the door, and there's my sweet mother ready to take me home with a new pair of pants.
Oh, my gosh. They didn't even offer to help, or your teacher didn't offer to help?
No, they just sent me where they didn't. They just sent me where they wanted me to go. They didn't want to smell it, I guess.
Oh my god!
Nobody wanted to deal with it.
That's so sad. Well, there's no shame in that, though. There's no shame in that. You're 7, you're 6, whatever. You have the right to do that.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, it's fine. No shame. And frankly, I would rather wait in the bathroom for my mom than have someone from the principal's office dealing with that.
That's very true. Now that I think about it.
All right, I got 2 stories I want to share today, both involving other people's poo. So the first story I want to share happened about 3 years ago. We were on a road trip. We were driving through Montana, and we stopped at a rest area because I had to go number 2 really bad. And so I'm going. All of a sudden, this person comes running in and sits at the stall next to me and unloads. And they were literally unloading for about a minute, it felt like. And they wipe, they flush the toilet, and all of a sudden I hear them say, "Oh, snap." And I'm thinking, oh no, what happened? What's happening on that other side of the wall? And all of a sudden I start hearing water crashing down from their toilet. And I start seeing water creeping over to my stall, and I start seeing some poop particles come over too. I'm thinking, what do I do here? And so the first thing I do is I stand up and I get on top of the toilet because I don't want any part of me having any part of another person's poo on my clothing, okay? And so I stand up and I think, oh my gosh, I'm not done though. I still need to go. And so I'm squatting over the toilet and I finish and I wipe. And then all of a sudden, I hear banging on their door, on my door, them banging on my door. They're saying, I'm so friggin' sorry that my poop is flying over to your side. And I look down now. I was busy wiping and pooping, and I see that there's an inch of poop water underneath me. So I'm thinking, how do I get out of here? Now that I'm wiped, now that I got my pants up, how do I get out? Because the door's locked and I can't reach it. And so what I end up doing is I climb on top of the stalls just to avoid the poo. And I climb up and I kind of shimmy over and I jump over to the other side. And I'm looking, and as I'm jumping, I see that the poop water has spread out into the main part of the thing too. So I fall down right into poop water. And I'm stuck. And so that pretty much ruined my day, and I have to spend the rest of the day in poop water-filled shoes. And that's my story. There was no happy ending. I did not escape it, and I was super mad, and I still hold a grudge to that lady to this day. Or to that man this day. It wasn't a lady.
Yeah, I'm shocked that he bothered to knock on your door and apologize. Like, if I had done that, I just would have been out of there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I've been too embarrassed to even say anything. Especially being in a rest area, you can just drive away and you'll never see that person again. But they knocked, and they had the courtesy to do so.
That's too much. It's like they're trying too hard to be a good citizen. It's like, come on, look, I'm well aware that your poop is right in front of me, and I'm sure you didn't do it on purpose. Just leave me alone.
Just leave me alone. Get out of here. I don't want to see your face. Bye-bye. All right, the second story has to do with being in a rest area bathroom again.
What What
But
is it
this
with
time,
rest areas.
but this time, you see the weirdest thing in rest area bathrooms. This time, though, I go into the men's bathroom. I walk in and I need to go, and I go to the first stall I see that's open, and I go in, I look in the toilet, and let's be honest here. We can say this because we're all men. I saw a tampon in the toilet of the men's bathroom. Now, explain to me, why would that be there?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know either. Do you have any ideas, Matt? I'm still befuddled to this day of why there was a tampon in the men's bathroom.
Well, maybe, I don't know, the guy had it in his pocket for one reason or another. He was cleaning the house or something, and then it was in his pocket, and then he noticed it when he was in the bathroom. But I'm really stretching for an explanation.
I should have mentioned it was a used tampon. Like, it wasn't new.
He could have been using it for a bloody nose.
Okay. All right.
Or, now, you know what? I'd rather not. I don't even want to think about it anymore.
And that's my stories, and I'm sticking to it. I got nothing else to say. Do you have any last words, Matt, for us? Any advice or guidance you want to share to the world?
Just figure out what you like to do, and then try to figure out a way to do it as much as you want to do it. That's been my approach, and I've had a little bit of success from it, with the music and whatnot. So it's the only thing I feel I'm able to give advice about, because I don't know, what do I know about anything else? I know how to sit in my basement for hours and hours singing and cracking myself up.
Matt, I have one more question for you. First off, do you ever do concerts or anything of the sort?
I've almost never, but a month ago I did a thing at a comics convention. I performed a couple of shows there, in which I had like a slideshow presentation with all my album covers and other things, and I kind of took people on the insane journey of my music career, from my basement to the Tonight Show. So that went over pretty well. And on June 3rd, I'm holding a show here in Danvers, Massachusetts. It's gonna be a 5-hour-long extravaganza, just like it's just gonna be a lot of music, totally insane, craziness, and fun. But I'm open to it, but it's hard, unless the price is right. It's kind of hard to leave home and my family and whatnot to do the average gig.
That's understandable. That's one other thing I forgot to mention. You were on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, right?
Yeah, that was the best.
How did that come to be?
Slip it into every conversation I can. How did it come to be?
Yeah, how did it happen?
I was just sitting here in the basement recording songs, and my phone rang, and it was a producer from the Tonight Show, and they said, "Hey, we like your Pizza Hut song," and I said, "Pizza Hut song." I honestly didn't remember that I had a Pizza Hut song, and then the producer was like, "Oh, do we have the wrong guy?" I'm like, "No. I'll make a Pizza Hut song. I can do one. I'll give you." But then I remembered I had one, and they said, "Do you want to come down and perform it?" And I said yes. And a week later, I was in New York. It was really cool and awesome, and a good experience.
Wow, that's fantastic. How was it meeting Jimmy Fallon? Is he as funny in person as he is on like the TV?
I mean, we didn't talk long enough to really crack many jokes, but he's as nice in person as he always seemed to me like the nicest guy in comedy, and I got that same vibe in the short time that I chatted with him after the rehearsal. Just seemed like a genuine, decent, nice guy, and he told me he was the one who found the song on Spotify because he just randomly typed in Pizza Hut, and he found my song and was like, "Let's get this guy on the show." So it's, again, that's my evil plan totally working, the same way you guys found the Poop songs.
Oh my gosh. That's fantastic.
That is incredible.
Gosh. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Matt. You can follow Matt on Twitter, Facebook. Are you on Instagram too, I think?
No, just Facebook
just
and Twitter.
Facebook and Twitter? All right.
Motern Media, just like modern, except with a T instead of a D. And if my phone number is 603-644-0048. Anyone can just call me anytime if they want.
Dope. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being on the show, Matt. We really appreciate it. And thank you all for listening as well. You can find the show on constantcompodcast.podbeam.com, or you find it on iTunes as well and the Stitcher app. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Push out your poop. Push out your poop. Push, 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 push. Push, 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 push out your poop. Push, 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 push out your poop. Push out your poop. But don't have a stroke. Don't push out. If you're pushing so hard, you might die. That you start to see stars. Don't push out. Stop pushing out your hard, you might die. You're gonna hurt yourself. Drink some prune juice. Don't drink some prune juice or something like